Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm, of course, your host, Tanks Blitz, and in today's video, we are going to be talking about the Tier 9 French medium tank, the AMX-31R prototype. Now, this is an extremely strong Tier 9 medium. In fact, it's stronger than some Tier 10 mediums in certain aspects. The biggest letdown is the premium penetration and the poor DPM compared to most Tier 10 vehicles, but it's not bad at 2600. That's still impressive enough to rip through Tier 10 heavies, and as well, with the pretty good standard pen at 244, it's enough to easily penetrate most Tier 10 mediums. It's just that the 276 premium pen, and that's with calibrated on, really struggles to get through those heavily armored opponents. Even some Tier 8 heavy tanks you can struggle to penetrate, but this tank's got a little bit of a trick up its sleeve, which is very rare for French vehicles. Armor. Usually when you look at a French tank, they don't have much armor. Well, the AMX, as you can see here, has got very strong armor. This is an M103 aiming at the AMX, which carries the same gun as the T110E5. Well, you can see that mantlet, even if you're using heat, with calibrated, you still can't penetrate through. It is an incredibly thick mantlet, and what that means is that the AMX-1R gets bounces all over the turret. If you're using the 10 degrees of gun depression this vehicle is given, you're actually going to be doing a very solid job, and that's what makes this tank so incredibly strong. Even against Tier 10 opponents, this thing can get a lot of bounces, which is why I absolutely loved the vehicle when it first came out. I don't really play it as much anymore, but I can definitely tell you that it used to be one of my favorite all-time vehicles in the game, and I remember when it came out in crates and I got it for like $20. I was so happy because not only does this tank look great, but it just does such a sweet job out there on the battlefield. So of course, let's see what it can do in today's video. Now, it's in the stores for the price tag of 10,000 gold, which is pretty not actually super expensive, but it is still about $20. They normally come for about 15. If any of you have ever noticed, that's usually like the price that Wargaming sells these vehicles at. There's a nice snap. You'll see that the gun is actually quite accurate on its aiming time, which is great. And with that WT aiming right at me again, and there you go, a bounce right on that mantlet as I was talking about. So we've already gotten 2 shells into the enemy WT, and we've taken off a pretty big chunk off his vehicle. Now you can see there, that's that fantastic traverse speed this vehicle does have, which means that we are easily going to be able to use that mobility of this tank and try and get to the side of the IS-7 here. There you go, perfect bounce. Now, of course, you don't expect to get bounces on the side of this tank, or you don't expect your teammates to block you, but I guess both of those happen. Don't you always love at the perfect moment when your teammate blocks you? But nonetheless, this IS-7 here, he's not doing too well. He's not enjoying my company, and we're going to get another shell right into his rear. And then we've got the Type 61, who's our next opponent. So let's go for this guy now. Let's get one nice shell right into the front of him. And of course, because we've got a lesser alpha, well, I guess it's not going to matter too much, as that guy, yeah, he's taken out. So this game was pretty good. Not a normal battle, to be honest, but it was a pretty good game nonetheless. Now we got this ST1 pushing a very aggressive right here. Let's get a shell into his lower plate, and then he's just going to like yeet past us and do that. I don't know what's going on in this game, to be completely honest. I really couldn't tell you, because the enemy team is folding like a pound cake, and even if this guy shoots me, I really couldn't care, because I'm going to be making my way back up top to the map to see if we can help out my other teammates, like this IS-7 from the Chieftain Mark 6, because yeah, I really don't know what is going on. So I'm going to be poking this Chieftain. Let's get a shot into the side of him. Not a super high roll, but nonetheless, we're still getting some shells out. Another couple seconds here before we get our second shell and reload. There you go, another nice shot for 290. And this poor guy, he's not liking me all too much anymore. We've also got the TVP-50 off to the side, but the main guy I obviously don't want to get hit by is that Chieftain Mark 6. He's probably, no, maybe, I don't really know what he's doing, to be honest. But I'll get a shot into that TVP. Alright, we're at 3,700 damage so far. Not bad by any means. And, well, we're going to continue to rack out that damage. Let's get a nice HE into the rear of that Chieftain Mark 6 for 400. Thank you very much. And yeah, well, that's the AMX, as you can see. Now, granted, the enemy team was big stupid. Like, I really don't know what was the plan behind the enemy team in this battle. You know, the IS-7 rushing, the ST-1 rushing. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But nonetheless, the Wotb did a pretty solid job, which I can't really complain about. And there you go, nice shot on the move into the side of his take. We can't really take a shot from the Yag, but I'm not super worried as we are getting some pretty nice shells out. And with that fantastic mobility this vehicle carries, easily able to get on the side of the tank and get away from danger. So there you go, the first game in the AMX is pretty dang solid. About 48-ish hundred damage, which is pretty good for a tier 8 tank, or tier 9 tank against tier 10 opponents. Sorry, I've almost called it a tier 8, but that's pretty dang impressive. We did top of the team in a tier 10 battle against pretty strong tier 10 opponents. Now, granted, again, yeah, this IS-7 here wasn't really big brain, but, you know, Mastery 4800, not bad at all for a first battle in the AMX, and I haven't even played this thing in like 4 or 5 months. So, of course, let's go into one more game. Usually it's sometimes luck, especially a team like that. Yeah, you don't always get a team that just falls apart that quickly. So, let's see how this battle works. And this is against tier 8 opponents on Canyon, which is a fantastic map for the AMX, because of course the hull down capabilities using the 10 degrees of gun depression this vehicle has make it fantastic. I honestly find this tank, which is supposed to be, if you don't know, the AMX 30B, which is the tier 10 collector, is supposed to be in World of Tanks PC, the tier 10 medium tech tree, and this is the tier 9, and they're both on the same line. Well, I actually find that this tank is better in most scenarios, even in a tier 10 engagement, than the AMX 30B. Like, last game you saw, it just does such a good job. And I guess the main reason for that being is because this thing's turret actually does a better job than the 30Bs in certain scenarios. Now, we got that E50 off to the side. There's a nice shot into him. The gun's also pretty dang accurate, even though it doesn't have that big alpha that, you know, you want on your tier 9 tanks. It still gets the punch out. We got that M103 off to the side, and oof, that E50, I didn't think he was actually going to be looking at my side. Well, that kind of sucks for me. What do we want to do here? Well, you know what I'll do is I'll try and snap that T30. Maybe not yet. I really don't want to bleed right off in the beginning of this game, of course, but you know what I will do is I will try and get an HE. There you go, nice HE. That Tortoise is actually very aggressive, as you can see, but yeah, that's not worrying me too much because it is a Tortoise, which means it's got that big old boob on the roof of it, which isn't going to do much, especially to me in the long run, so yeah, not too bad. We've also got that T30 off to the side. There's one nice shot into that T30 already. Let's put on our adrenaline here, see if we can get some more shells out. That Tortoise fired. So, oof. Yeah, this gun, it's not working great on the on-movement dispersion, but it could be worse. There you go. Another nice shot into that Tortoise's cupola, and I don't really know what his big brain plan is here, but it's not going too bad for me, I'll tell you that. We got that M103 off to my side, and with this Tortoise still pretty aggressive, let's see if we can get another nice shot into him. There you go, another nice shot for 296. We've already brought a full health tank destroyer, about half health now, and we're just going to keep on slapping him if we can. There you go, another nice shot, and there's the bounce rate on the mantlet, as always. Like, you can start to see why this vehicle's so strong. We're racking out the damage like a beast, and really the enemy team can't do much about it. There's a nice shot into the AT-15, already sitting at 2,500 damage now in this battle, and well, I'm going to try and slap this Tortoise once again. There you go, another nice shot for 327. Now we're at 2,800 damage this battle. We've also got vehicles like the Tiger 2 off to the side, and there you go, that's 3k, and you can see this was like the easiest 3k in my life. It really is super easy to do well in the AMX 30, and I still think that this vehicle in a good player's hands is almost overpowered, because you can see here I'm literally just eating through enemy tanks with no problems whatsoever. This poor AT-15 really stands no chance against my tank. Although, I guess we do need premium shells to pen him reliably. As I did say before, this gun doesn't have the best pen. It's not bad on the standard pen, but it's not great. 240, it's not going to be buttering through enemy opponents, but we still did very, very good against the enemy team. You know, way better than you'd expect, and well, let's get some shots out onto this M103. I'm not going to bother with my adrenaline because it looks like this guy's going to die before we're able to get that reload out. Actually, you know what? Maybe we're going to get that shell. There you go. Nice tap for 308 rate on the side of the M103, and there you go. A 4,600 damage game pulled out. Once again, you could see the first game was kind of luck, but this game was just an easy smoke. I absolutely love the AMX 30. It earns great credits, as you can see. I think I do have a credit booster on. I do, but we still would have earned 90,000 credits this battle, even with that credit booster on. It's a fantastic tank. This is one of the few French premiums that are just fantastic. You usually don't find a vehicle like this, especially at tier 9, but I actually wouldn't be opposed to spending 10,000 gold on this tank. You saw these were 2 live games. I haven't played any games before it. Granted, did have some pretty good battles today, as you can see, all victories. But, yeah, 2 victories in my AMX 1R, and we're averaging about 4,500 damage in it, which is pretty dang lucky. So hopefully all of you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. But for 10,000 gold, I would say, yeah, go for it. If you've got 10,000 gold lying around, you will not regret buying this vehicle. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, though. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. And if you want to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Bye-bye.